Ahoy there, and welcome back to Building with the Boys. It is now time for issue 22 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. And really rather in-depth this one is. So in this one we are going to be installing LEDs, windows, but more importantly we have got some colour change details for some of the early issues that we did. Now I know that's been a bone of contention for a lot of people, colour accuracy on some of these. Well, some of that's going to be addressed. Now, I'm sure it's not going to make everybody happy, but it's a positive step, right? They are changing things, and they're acknowledging that there was some colour issues. So we're going to get on with that. If you are one of the thousands that are watching the Titanic build but have not subscribed yet, it would be very much appreciated if you could. We'd love to have you on board for the whole build. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button. Helps us massively. Subscription helps us even more, and we just really would love to have you. We are going to get on with this. So as I said, we're going to install windows. That's going to require super glue. Now I use Loctite Power Gel as my super glue of choice. You want to be sparing on this. You don't need to use a lot of it at all. These are very small details. They're going to be quite snug anyway. So don't go mad with your glue on this one, because you can get gas marks and things like that. You don't want to do that. We're installing the LEDs. We're going to be attaching the second funnel to the first class gymnasium, and then at the end we're going to put our new colour details on. We are going to have a Titanic chat at the end of this one, and we're going to be talking about soap. Sounds weird, right? But we're going to be talking about soap. So let's get into this one. We'll build all these parts, and then we'll have a chat about soap at the end. So wish me luck. Let's get going. Okay, so here is everything we get inside pack 22. Now you'll see there's a lot. So we get these very nice photo etch details for the windows. We have the extension cable for the funnel. We did one of those in issue 20. We have an LED panel. Did that in issue 20. We have our screws. And we also have our new colour details, which is for the forecastle and for the well deck. So we'll be installing those as well. We'll do that at the end. What we're going to focus on are these parts. Now, these arched windows are going to be fitting into this section here. So we're going to be putting these in here. And square windows, no prizes for guessing where they're going. Now, you're not going to use all of them. There's going to be 4 of these arched windows left at the end. So you're going to keep that safe. So don't worry if you I've got 4 left. They're not spares. You're going to use them in a later part of the build. So you have to keep this safe. So keep this with your other bits and you'll be good. Let's get into it. Let's get this started. I'm going to separate these windows out so they're good to go in, and then we're going to crack on with the build. Okay, so I've popped one in. Quite simply, using the cocktail stick method, or pin's better actually, we're just going to put a little glue along the inside edge of the window, and then we're going to drop the window in using some tweezers. Now you will note the glazing bar. It's this part here. So the small window goes at the top, the glazing bar goes at the top, and we're going to do all of these, and we do the other side. Now I am not going to bore you watching me do all of these, so as if by magic in a minute I'm going to cut and come back and these will all be done. You won't have aged a day, yet I'll be older and sweatier mess for having done it because it's very hot in this room. Okay, so as I said, as if by magic, ta-da! Right, so we have installed 25 square windows, and yeah, that was a lot of going, but they're in, they're nice, they're lovely, they're all looking good, happy with those. But it's labor intensive, it's fiddly. You need your tweezers, you need your modeling goggles if you've got them. They look lovely, they look good, I'm happy with those. But I'm not done, because next thing we're going to do is we're going to take up this part. And as you can see, we've got 3, 6, 10, 15. So we've got 15, was that right? 3, 4, 5. There goes the dome. 9, 15. So we've got 15 more of these to fit. So it's going to be, as I said, 5, 10, 15 of those going to fit. We're going to be left with some at the end. 16. There you go. So 4, 8, 12, 16. And we have 4 left over, which we're going to use for another build later on. So again, I'm going to get those done and we'll take a look. Okay, now we have the rectangular windows in. Now, I've got all these ones in this. So now they'd say not to put in these two. No idea why, but they said not to. So that does leave us 4 on our scheme here. So we're going to hold those off until they tell us what to do. I'm guessing we're just going to put 2 in there, but I mean, for the sake that maybe there's some special weird windows, let's not jump ahead. And we'll just stick to the instructions. There's no big sweat. So that's that done. Now we're going to move on to the actual essence of the build. So the first thing I've got us doing is testing the LED kit, and you can see nice and bright. That one is working absolutely perfectly. Simple enough. So once we've tested it, we're going to unplug this one, and we are going to quite simply fit it underneath here, like we did the last time. So it's going to go in. We're going to use the flathead screwdriver to lift the pins over it, hold it in place. I'm going to do that now, and we will take a look. So as you can see, we've got that one locked in. That is going nowhere. And you can see those going to uplight the funnel. So now what we're going to do is remove the smoke generator from our funnel. The rubber band's going to go around here and hold the band in place. And then we're going to take our funnel and we're going to be fitting the extension cable. Okay, so this is how I do this. The thin end is going to come through. So I've already threaded my tweezers through and I bite to grab it. So now, with hopefully minimal messing about, there we go. That just makes life a lot easier. I'm going to pull this all the way down, and there we go. We've got this one threaded through. Now this is going to thread into our piece here. I'm going to screw that in place. So let's get ready for that. Okay, so this is how we're now looking. We've threaded the wire through. I'll show you that now. So there we go. So our wire comes through its the gap. Now all we're going to do is take in 2 AP screws. We're going to screw these into here, holding our funnel in place. Now these are APs. This is a piece onto plastics. There is no need to use 3-in-1 oil on this because we're going into plastic. 3-in-1 oil is going to be overkill and might do more harm than good. So yeah, we don't use 3-in-1 on plastic unless there's a real need, and there really is no need here. So the second AP screw. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is this one complete. Now we're going to put our dome back on and a few other bits and pieces because it all fell off as we were doing this. Let's grab our dome. You watch this fall straight through. No? Okay, cool. I'll shut up. And I did lose a piece from here as well, so we're going to put that back on. I'm going to get the part back on. What I'm going to do is I can plug it in and light it up as well, so we can see this lit up, see what it looks like. So there we have it. This is now lit up. Now, what I'll do, you know what, let's kill the lights. Let's have a look at it properly lit up. There we go. Now, I know there's going to be bleed. I don't think there is. I mean, you can see that that's bleed there. If I pin this down, really not bad at all. But I think what is looking lovely is if we look down on our dome, we can see the suitable illumination there. So when there is a grand staircase, because we are getting a grand staircase underneath there, it's going to look lovely all lit up. I think that is looking really rather nice. As I said, there's pins. So you see, if we light bleeds minimum, it really is. I mean, you could paint the inside of this black. You could also use insulation tape rather than put paint all over the model, which would cause the same thing. Now you are getting glare, but that's because it's hitting my lens. It doesn't look like that with my eyes, believe me. I'm seeing something very different to what you'll see, and this glare isn't there for me. It's a lot more subdued. But I think that's looking lovely. Let's have a chat. So that's 22 complete, and that really is labour intensive. Now, when you watch the video, it's going to be like that. But trust me, putting in 35 windows, it's a grind. It's a grind. Just take your time with it. Don't smear it in glue. You don't need to. I mean, it's just a touch. It needs to hold these windows in. They're quite firm in place without the glue, but they're never going to stay in place without the glue. So it's literally just a touch is all you need. You don't need to smear it in it. The one thing the magazine advises you to do is the magazine advises you to do the opposite. The magazine advises to punch out all the windows, lie them down next to the holes, then put them in one at a time. Don't do that. Do not do that. And I'll tell you why, because you'll do what I did. One of those got stuck to my arm as I was doing it. Couldn't find it. It dropped onto the floor and the carpet claimed it as its own. Now, you would have seen the last video how horrified I was my wife had tidied my build room. Thank God my wife tidied my build room, because it was very easy to then find that window. Don't tell her I said that, because I'll never live it down. But yeah, that was lucky. So don't do that, because you're going to lose one. You're going to lose one. My advice is glue the window, remove it from the sprue, stick the frame in. That's it, and do them one at a time. Do them one at a time, because if you punch them all out, you're going to lose one. It's a very high risk of losing one of these, because they are tiny. But yeah, very labour intensive. That wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy that. Now, I know some people live for the kind of sprue and glue. I don't. I didn't enjoy that. I didn't. It looks great. It looks wonderful when it's done. I'm not looking forward to doing hundreds more of those windows, because I know we're going to be doing hundreds more of those windows, and it's always going to chill me to the core. So that is that one done. However, we're not completely done, because we have got the new colour parts. So we're going to install the new colour parts now and see how we get on with that. I'm just going to switch it all out and show you the finished product. So here we are. I mean, what an impact. What an impact. We've changed these capstans here. You can see, so we've now got the steel and brass colour. We've got the white breakwater in now. It's looking lovely. It's looking lovely. That really did make a big impact. And then over on the forward well deck, we've got now the metal colour winches in, and metal parts here as well. So I genuinely believe that's made a gorgeous impact. That's so much better. I mean, here's all the white that we were using. That's all gone. And this is what's now in. And really rather lovely it is too. Very impressed with that. Very happy. Let's have a chat. So that's it for that one. We are now completely complete. So we've done the main build, but we've also added the colorized parts. This just looks great. It looks really nice. It looks beautiful. It's a very nice touch, and it's good that Hachette did this, because they didn't have to. We all complain and whine, but they didn't have to change it, but they did, and fair play to them. Fair play to them indeed, because it's lovely. It's really made an impact. If you are just sticking around with the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe. We'd love to have you. Helps the channel massively, and if you're enjoying the content, help a brother out, you know. And hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk about soap. For those that stick around for Titanic, soap, how you say? Yeah, soap. Now, we've spoken before about Titanic marked the start of kind of a brave new world where things were very different. We talked about how media had changed significantly, and it was one of the first very sensationalized stories in the press, the Titanic. But other things were going on in the world as well at the time. And it's a very early example of product placement. And vinolia soap. Soap was a big deal. I know that sounds weird. I mean, soap, soap. Now we're just going to, it's just soap. Soap was a big deal back in the day. There was a massive market for soap because, again, the world was changing, and it was kind of, people were getting more the disposable income. So don't just have any old soap, have spectacular soap. And this is where we'd spoke about Dorothy Gibson was a soap girl, so she was a model for the soap. But vinolia soap got product placement on the Titanic, so it was going to be the soap that was used in the first class and in some of the second class facilities exclusively. They were very proud of this. They were a really big deal. They were kind of the Nike of soap. They were the Coca-Cola of soap, if you will. But they had the prestige of being the Titanic's soap of choice. And it was used in advertising, much like the metal sign that we have over here. They had their own advertisement of that. Now I've managed to get hold of a bar of vinolia soap. Now this is what would have been used on the Titanic, vinolia soap. This is as it was. So this is what would have been used. It's made to the same recipe. There's a very tiny bar, but these are similar to the bar. I mean, the packaging's the same, so the design is what went out on the posters. And this has been made to the same recipe as the original. So we're going to crack it open. I've got two of these, so I've got one I can keep in the box, lovely. And my hands are quite gluey from the build just, so we're going to take a look. So this is our vinolia soap. It's only a little bar. Wow, it's powerful. It's really powerful. it smells like old soap. I mean, if you can remember, if you're my age, if you're in your 40s, 50s even, if you can remember the soap at school, it's got that going on. It's sweeter than that. It's got a nicer smell than that. But you definitely get those hints of that old school soap. I mean, this takes me back to screwing around in the toilets, you know, throwing wet paper towels and stuff when I was a kid. But this was the soap of choice. It features in A Night to Remember, in the 1956 Night to Remember. At the beginning, it's mentioned about the soap of the Titanic, and some guy sort of scoffs until he realises who he's talking to, and then he gets very apologetic. That it was seen as kind of gaudy, as tacky, to be promoted as soap in a boat, but it's what happened. So vinolia soap was the soap of the Titanic. Now you can get these. Now what I will say is these are not expensive. So I got a couple of these for about £3. But you can buy big bars. Wouldn't recommend it. I mean, a big bar of this is going to set you around 15 to 20 quid for a sort of big bar of soap. So don't go mad. But I mean, for a little Titanic display, if you've got one, these are gorgeous. You can get them on Amazon. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pop a link in my in the description of where you can get one. I don't make any money from this. This is just if you want one. So it's not like it's linked to a store or I'm being paid to promote it. It's not that. It's just I thought this was a cute thing, which is why I picked it up. And it's a bit of history of the Titanic. And it's a very smelly soap. But it's a gorgeous thing. So you can get these. So you can imagine smells of the Titanic. This is what it would have been. So this would have been quite prominent in a lot of the bathrooms of the Titanic. This is what they would have smelled like. So it gives you an idea of how it would have been if you close your eyes and this is what it would have smelled like on the Titanic. Because I just think that's a cute thing, and they say smell is one of the most powerful kind of evokers of memory and imagination. And yeah, it's good. It's interesting. It's interesting to smell. So a lot of the first class passengers would have reeked of this stuff, because it was in every first class cabin. It's every first class bathroom, public bathroom, and it's known as the cold cream bath soap. What a gorgeous little thing! But as I said, I'll pop a link in the description. You can find them. Thank you for stopping by. Again, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. If you're one of the thousands that watch but haven't done it yet, it'd be appreciated if you could. We will be coming up very, very, very shortly with issue 23, where we will be installing a winch to the ship. That's going to be interesting. It's a little clockwork winch. I think it's going to split people. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. I kind of love it. I've seen how it works already, and I think it's a nifty little thing. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know it did this. This wasn't something that's been advertised, but I've seen what this does with the anchors, and I like it. So tune into that one. You'll find out all about it, and we'll have a bit of a chat about Titanic movie, the next one as well. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you in issue 23.